Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from group 1. We have 5 members consisting of myself, Siti Fatima, and then Talia Srikandi Malaya Putri, Putri Aulia BR Huta Galung, Hilda Andia Citra, and then Ria Wibawa. Okay, in this video, we will discuss the material about language and society. This video was made to fulfill the group assignment of the sociolinguistics subject. So first, I will explain the background of the language and society paper. Speaking and language are two different things. Language doesn't have to be spoken, it could be written and could be assumed. The study of language and society, sociolinguistics, could be dated to about the middle of 20th century. Language and society, sociolinguistics means to show the use of language in regulated by some factors such as race, gender, class, age. And then society is a group of people with a common territory and culture interacting with one another. Society is a group of people who are drawn together for a certain purpose or purposes. In some terms, society becomes more extensive. We may get the same extensive term of language. Let's say that language is a code which understood by people and used to communicate one another. A language is what people of particular society speak. Language that we use reflects the kind of word we create around us. The choice of language that we use is very important. For instance, when someone speaks his unemployment, we hear that in certain way, but if someone speaks he could not get any job, we might hear that differently. The choice of language that we use could indicate what kind of society we are from. In this paper, we will discuss more about the extent of language roles in social life, how language reflects society, and the factors that affect a language use in society.
The role of language in society. Language helps us to express our ideas and thoughts. This is unique because it is a way to express ideas and customs within different cultures and societies. By learning foreign language, for instance, we could understand ideas and thoughts that may be different from our own cultures. Could learn how people communicate in a given societies. To the linguist, language is primarily a tool of communication and a social tool. In fact, we use language in several ways. We use language and that language is a part of society. We use language to fulfill our needs. When someone uses his own language, he chooses the words that match with his needs.
Actually, Geoffrey Leach mentioned that there are 5 functions of language. Number 1 is informational function, used to give new information. It depends on truth and value. Number 2, expressive function, used to express feelings and attitudes. On this function, people try to express their feelings. People also reflect their impression. Let us take an example, poetry and literature. The writer of poetry or literature expresses his feeling by his poetry. Another example, when someone said the vacation was awesome, I enjoy it. We could see from those examples about how people use language to express feelings and attitudes. Number 3, directive function. We aim to influence the behavior of attitudes of others. The most straightforward example of this function are comments and requests. Number 4, aesthetic function. The use of language for the sake of the linguistic artifact. This function could help at least as much to do with effective meaning. Number 5, fatigue function, keeping communication lines open and keeping social relationship in good repair. For instance, when two people meet accidentally in somewhere, they speak each other about unforeseen things only for the sake of communication, such as "How are you?" and other kind of daily conversation.
How language reflects society? Language is a reflection of a society's culture and its perception of the world as it relates information is demonstrated how a certain society takes in, process, evaluates, and conveys that information. The character of the language reflects on the society using, for example, through the syntax of a language. Words are not the only way to convey ideas and concepts. One of the most apparent demonstrations could be seen in the way a language arranger its adjectives and nouns. Most of Romance literatures follow the rule of noun adjective, where the noun being described by the adjective precedes the adjective. However, the inverse is true in English language. Adjective procedure nouns formation is not processed by first recognizing and acknowledging the noun, but by its descriptive characteristic. This is a different way of processing and conveying information than the Romance literature. Therefore, reflect difference between societies using language in processing ideas. Language could therefore be seen as not only an important tool to convey information, but as a reflection on the societies that use it. The particular quest of word which compose a language and the syntax through which that language is conveyed demonstrates the way society perceives its environment and relays information about it. By studying associating language, they fly then a greater understanding could be formed of the society itself.
Some factors that affect language use in society. So, people usually use language based on the context. For example, when you have a talk with your friend, you are free to use informal language or slang words such as dang it, hell dude, and vice versa. It's same when you are using your phone texting your friends, you are free to use abbreviation like lol or brb. Now see, when you have a conversation with your teacher, you must think, oh, I shouldn't use informal language because it is inappropriate in a context of relationship. The second context is speaker's age. There is not too much explanation about this one, but as we grow older, we must realize that we can easily adjust how to act in front of people. We can easily adjust how is the best way to show, to express our feeling, our thoughts, or our ideas. Next, the third factor is culture and gender. Gender is obvious influence our expression, our gestures, our word choice, our intonation, and our tone. Let's take an example. The way men act in front of women are different from the way they act in front of other men. Just make it short and go to the factor number 4. It is socio-economic class. In our society, we know that there are three classes of people. The first one is upper class, and then middle class, and lower class. Each class prefers the use of one pronunciation over the other regardless. Now, the last one is ethnic group. Ethnic groups can learn the dominant language in area when majority of the people speak that language. Passengers who come in a new place will adopt the language and a dialect of that place. Let's take an easy example. I've been living in Kuala Tungkal for years. When I am in society, I usually speak Malay. I use E at the end of my words. When I have to speak, "Hey, where are you going?" I will say, "Hey, nak mana?" We are not pronounce every single letter clearly. But when I have to go to the university I live in Jambi, I quickly adapt the language that Jambinese people use. They use O at the end of the word. It becomes Oi, nak kemana? Okay, so this is the end of my explanation. Now I will show you the conclusion of our paper. The first one is, according to the Geoffrey Village, there are 5 roles of language and society. There are informational function, then expressive function, directive function, aesthetic function, and emphatic function. Language is a connector between people and society. They are inseparable beings, conveys ideas and concepts. Therefore, language is a reflection of social status and culture of human. And then the last one is, people could determine that language could be influenced by some factors such as context, age, gender, culture, class, and ethnic. That's all our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.